Yes, maintaining working clearance above a T-bar ceiling is necessary for electrical safety. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for working clearances around electrical equipment to ensure the safety of personnel performing maintenance, repairs, or installations. These clearances are intended to provide enough space for workers to safely operate and maintain equipment without the risk of electrical shock or injury. When working above a T-bar ceiling, the vertical clearance is particularly important. The specific clearance requirements depend on the voltage of the electrical equipment and the conditions of the work environment. NEC Article 110.26 addresses the requirements for working space about electrical equipment. This section provides minimum depths of working space, minimum widths of working space, and minimum heights of working space. The height of the working space must be a minimum of 6.5 feet or 1.98 meters, or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. This ensures that workers have adequate headroom to perform their tasks safely. In many commercial and industrial settings, electrical equipment such as junction boxes, transformers, and cable trays are often located above T-bar ceilings. These ceilings are suspended grid systems that provide easy access to the space above for maintenance and modification. However, this accessibility also means that workers may be exposed to energized electrical equipment when working in this area. Therefore, it is essential to maintain the required working clearances to prevent accident. The NEC specifies different clearance requirements based on voltage levels. For example, for equipment operating at 600 volts or less, the minimum clear distance in front of the equipment can vary depending on the conditions outlined in NEC Table 110.26a.1. These conditions take into account factors such as whether the equipment is exposed to live parts on one or both sides, and whether there are grounded surfaces or insulated surfaces nearby. It is crucial to consult this table to determine the appropriate clearance for the specific situation. Furthermore, it is important to consider the presence of obstructions that may impede access to the electrical equipment. Obstructions such as pipes, ducts, or other equipment can reduce the available working space and make it more difficult to perform maintenance or repairs safely. In such cases, it may be necessary to relocate the obstructions or to provide additional space to ensure compliance with the NEC requirements. In addition to the NEC, OSHA, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also has regulations regarding electrical safety in the workplace. OSHA standards require employers to provide a safe working environment for their employees, including adequate working clearances around electrical equipment. Compliance with both the NEC and OSHA standards is essential to protect workers from electrical hazards. When planning electrical installations above T-bar ceilings, it is important to carefully consider the available space and the location of other equipment. The electrical equipment should be positioned in a way that allows for easy access and maintenance while also maintaining the required working clearances. It may be necessary to use smaller equipment or to reconfigure the layout to meet these requirements. Regular inspections of the electrical equipment and the surrounding working space are also important to ensure ongoing compliance with safety standards. These inspections can help to identify any potential hazards or violations and to take corrective action before an accident occurs. Firstly, ensure that all electrical work is performed by qualified and licensed electricians who are familiar with the NEC and OSHA requirements. Secondly, always de-energize the electrical equipment before performing any maintenance or repairs unless it is absolutely necessary to work on energized equipment. Thirdly, use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as gloves, safety glasses, and insulated tools when working around electrical equipment. Fourthly, maintain a clean and organized work area to prevent tripping hazards and to ensure easy access to the equipment. Fifthly, provide adequate lighting to ensure that workers can see clearly and avoid making mistakes. Sixthly, use barriers or warning signs to prevent unauthorized access to the work area. Seventhly, train workers on the proper procedures for working safely around electrical equipment. Eighthly, regularly inspect the electrical equipment and the surrounding working space to identify any potential hazards. Ninthly, promptly correct any identified hazards to prevent accidents. Tenthly, document all electrical work and inspections to maintain a record of compliance with safety standards. Maintaining working clearance above T-bar ceilings is not only a matter of compliance with regulations, but also a matter of protecting the safety and well-being of workers. By following the guidelines outlined in the NEC and OSHA standards, and by implementing safe work practices, it is possible to minimize the risk of electrical accidents and to create a safer working environment. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity, and never take shortcuts that could compromise the well-being of yourself or others. The specific requirements for working clearances can vary depending on the voltage of the equipment, the conditions of the work environment, and the applicable codes and standards. Therefore, it is essential to consult with qualified professionals and to refer to the latest editions of the NEC and OSHA regulations to ensure compliance. Understanding and adhering to these requirements is a critical component of electrical safety and is essential for preventing accidents and injuries in the workplace.